Good day, YouTube. This is Jay Money with Falling Forward Financial. Just an update here on HITID. I've covered this one numerous times here on the channel. It's one of my favorite MJ plays. Just did a video on Tilray, and hadn't done one on HITID here for a while, so I thought it was time for an update. But again, this is HITID, ticker HITI. Used to be HITIF. Then I went to HITID. Now it's on the NASDAQ here at HITI, and you can trade this one here on Robinhood. So here's where it got listed on June 3rd at 8.56. Had run up to 8.79 and then came down to 7.05, went on up to 8.36 and then came back down, and looks like it's trying to make its way back up from the bottom here at 5.86. So here's a look at the last 3 months, down over 15%. In the last month, it's up over 17%. In the last week, up 0.69%. And here's a look on Friday. So this one's been kind of volatile since it got uplisted. But all these MJ plays are a long-term hold for me, so I just hold them and let them do its thing. I don't have any currently here in Robinhood. Need to watch it and pick up some of this one here in Robinhood. Just haven't on Robinhood yet. But if you don't know what HITID is, engages in the manufacture and retail of MJ smoking accessories and lifestyle products, operates through the following segments. And feel free to pause and go over the rest there for yourself. I will link the other videos that I did on this one in the description as well. Founded in 2009, 4.17 thousand average volume. That probably should be million. I don't think that's right. With a $355 million market cap. Here's a look at the next earnings on September 14th. So we'll see what happens to the stock on that particular day. HITID announces addition to the ETFMG Alternative Harvest ETF. Again, this is a little bit older of an article, but still kind of relevant. I've talked about MJ here on the channel quite a bit, but HITID's a retail-focused MJ corporation enhanced by the manufacturing and distribution of consumption accessories. Disclosed the listing holdings available on its website. The company's shares have now been included in the ETFMG Alternative Harvest ETF, ticker MJ. I have talked about quite a few of the ETFs here on the channel. This is one of my bigger holdings with the ticker MJ. There's quite a few other ones. I'll link those in the description as well. We are very pleased to have our shares included in the ETF MG Alternative Harvest ETF, which is the first U.S. and world's largest ETF to target the global MJ industry. President and CEO of HITID. This is the third new ETF listing for HITID in the 3 months since our shares began trading on the NASDAQ. And once again demonstrates that HITID's commitment to operational execution is paying off. Here it kind of goes over a grant of options. This is a little bit more about HITID. Like I said, I've talked about them on the channel here quite a bit. They just adjust with 91 current locations. I think when I first started talking about them, like I said, when I first started talking about them, I think they had about 85 locations currently, with 91 current locations spanning Ontario, Alberta, Manitoba, and Saskatchewan. HITID's retail segment features the Canna Cabana, Meta MJ Company, Meta MJ Supply, and New Leaf MJ banners, with additional locations under development across the country. HITID has been serving consumers for over a decade through its established e-commerce platforms, including Grass City, SmokeCartel.com, DailyHighClub.com, and DankStop.com. I think this is their newest one. and I remember doing a video about that one. I think they have a couple 100,000 subscribers, so should do something to the stock price. And again, key industry investors in HITID are Tilray, which I just did a video on them, and Aurora, ACB. HITID provides timing for release of third quarter 2021 results and conference call. Here, this is just dated last Wednesday on the 25th. So the retail-focused MJ Corporation, manufacturing distribution of consumption products, announced today that the company will release its financial and operational results for the quarter ended on July 31st, 2021, after market close on Tuesday, September 14, 2021. HITID's third quarter 2021 financial and operational results will be available on SEDAR and on company's website. Following the release of the second quarter financial and operational results, HITID will host a conference call with Raj Grover, President and CEO, Chief Financial Officer, and you can put this one on your calendar if you have HITID on September 14th, 2021 at 6 p.m. Eastern. Conference call will discuss HITID's third quarter 2021 financial and operational results and updates on the company's plans for the rest of 2021. And here's some more information that you can put on your calendar for the call. HITID announces the elimination of all meta-convertible debentures. This is dated on Friday the 27th. So they have now been converted into common shares of HITID more than 1 year prior to the maturity date. The meta-convertible debentures were previously traded on the TSX exchange at HITI.DB. Company's total debt balance immediately after closing the acquisition of Meta was approximately $71 million, including $21.15 million of Meta convertible debentures. And just going to slowly scroll through the rest of the information. Again, you can find all this right here on Yahoo Finance. And this goes over a little bit more about HITID. And like I said, I'll go ahead and link my other videos in the description so you can watch those as well. And this kind of goes over a little bit more about the elimination of the Meta convertible debentures. This is dated also on Friday. Again, you can find this one on markets.businessinsider.com. And so pretty much the same information. So we're just going to slowly scroll through this one. For those of you who would like to read that one, or else, like I said, you can go straight to the source at markets.businessinsider.com. Over here to Reddit. Not much other information in there that's up to date. Currently on StockTwits, it's $7.15. Low of $1.67, high of $13.29. Looking forward to earnings run up and beyond. Any bets on when the sector rotation? 11 more trading days until earnings release on September 14th after close. Big week ahead. Chart is all ready to go off and give us some sector trend change. So maybe this would be a good time, not that I give tax, legal, or trading advice. You'd have to do your own due diligence and decide if this one is for you. But maybe they're looking for a run-up through earnings season, so maybe this would be a good time to take a look at it. So, and here you go, HITID wiping out Canopy, Aurora, short sellers, Sundial, and that's pretty sweet. Exciting week is up on us. So here on Tip Ranks, they don't have any information, which is kind of interesting. I thought they did, but they don't tonight. So, but if you have any of HITID, go ahead and list it in the comments along with your cost basis, any other information that you might have on this one that we can share, and keep us up to date on HITID, and put the earnings date on your calendar. And if you haven't smashed that like button yet, go ahead and hit that for me, as well as subscribing and hit the bell so you're notified of when the next videos drop. Again, this is J Money, Falling Forward Financial. Happy trading, happy investing, stay green. Cheers.